Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's workshop. And this workshop is on health, safety, and nutrition in early childhood. And today I will be presenting activities for children from the ages of 4 to 7 years, that is preschool up to year 2. This is the evaluation form that you can fill, and it will be confidential. While you are filling, let me just tell you about my presentation. It is on healthy living and nutrition, and today we are focusing on enjoying local foods for a healthy body. We will also explore how children can learn about fruits, healthy eating, and hygiene in fun, engaging, and age-appropriate ways. I will also show you how you, as parents, can support these lessons at home. We will go through our objectives, learning resources, activities, assessments, and reflection. And there will be opportunities for discussion and interactive activities as well. By the end of the session, we will have practical strategies to help our children learn how to enjoy fruits, understand nutrition, and develop healthy habits. So I'll give you time to fill in your evaluation form. Okay, moving on. So your evaluation form is filled. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about my lesson plan. So I created this lesson plan, and it was on healthy living and how it could support our children, and also how we could enjoy local foods, that is for a healthy body. Yes. And so let's begin with our slide 1, which is on objectives, learning and outcomes. And so let's start with the objectives. Okay. So slide 1 is on objectives and learning outcomes. So let's start with our objectives. Each age group has specific learning outcomes, right? For example, preschoolers, they will have to name at least 3 local fruits. They have to wash their fruits safely and taste them and describe their colors and taste. For example, a child might say, I like bananas because they are sweet, or demonstrate washing a mango. Okay, so these strengthens sensory development, vocabulary, and fine motor skills. And moving on to the kindergarten, they will have to name 3 or 5 fruits and describe the simple health benefits, such as papaya helps me grow. They practice washing fruits safely, which connects concrete experiences to basic health concepts. Year 1 students will sort the fruits by colors, size, taste, or maybe benefit of it, and plan a simple snack. For example, planning a fruit salad and explaining why each fruit is healthy. This will promote problem solving, teamwork, and decision making skills. And year 2 students will plan a fruit menu and or a snack. They will be able to explain the nutritional benefits like vitamins, fiber, energy, and immunity, and demonstrate safe handling. This will help develop independence, critical thinking, and responsibility for personal growth. Now, I'd like to ask you, which of these objectives do you think your children could try at home this week? Any you could think of? Any? Washing. Okay. Yeah, washing of fruits. That's a very healthy hygiene practice. We should always wash our fruits before we eat, and we should teach our children the same, because when the fruits, when they come, they actually are put in a kind of medication or in a kind of, like a brine. So it has some kind of chemical. So it is very important that we wash them in warm water. And for me personally, I would actually, my son is 4 years old, and I would actually help him to describe at least 3 local fruits. He actually knows most of the fruits, but what happens is that he doesn't wash the fruits. He just eat it like that. So this is one of the hygiene that I'm trying to teach him, that is to wash the fruits before you eat. And maybe even simple activities like sorting the fruits can help children learn about hygiene as well, responsibility, and decision making. So moving on to our slide 2, which is on importance of why I chose this topic and the resources, right? So why actually chose this topic is because it was readily accessible, and it was also, so why I actually chose this topic, because I believe that it's accessible, and it's very important. The other thing is it's nutritious and culturally relevant as well. And teaching children about local foods will help them connect learning with their everyday lives. So preschoolers, they will benefit from touching and for preschoolers, they would benefit from touching it, smelling, and tasting fruits. For example, smelling a guava, and they would say, "Ah, it smells sweet." They would be able to link their sensory experiences to language. For the kindergarten students, it begins. They would begin to connect fruit to health benefits. Saying papaya helps me grow. This actually encourages reasoning and early health literacy as well. Year 1 students, they would apply knowledge in snack planning, learning to combine fruits to balance nutrition. And Year 2 students, they would analyze menus, understand vitamins, and compare fruits for energy or immunity. And this would actually build critical thinking and independent in decision making. Yeah? And I actually use resources like big books. So these are some of the big books that I used. So I actually made 4 big books, and that is for all different age groups. Yeah, so these are the big books that I made. This was for preschool, this was for kindergarten, and this was for grade 1, and then the last one was for grade 2. So, and I also use some clay models, I use real fruits, I have some charts here for different age groups, and I use some flashcards here as well to make this learning multisensory and engaging. Yeah? So now parents, they think about the, now as parents, I would like you to think about question like which resources at home could you use to make fruit learning fun for your children? What are some of the resources, or do you think? So we could use like real fruits, we could use like so like what are some of the resources that you could use at home um, to make fruit learning for your child, maybe like in a fun and an engaging way? Maybe you could use real fruits. What could you use? Yeah, pictures. Yeah, coloring books, or even role play activities as well, right? Using what you have at home, like a bowl of fruit or drawing materials, can make learning very hands-on and memorable for these children, right? And because when children engage in hands-on learning, they are able to remember things more well than actually writing and reading. So let's move on to our slide 3, which is on values and language. So values and language are the key components of any lesson. So preschoolers, they would share, they would take, like turn to develop social skills. For example, offering a banana to a friend to practice empathy and respect. Kindergarten would express likes, dislikes respectfully, would strengthen communication. Asking like, I like mangoes but not guava, how about you? This would encourage, polite discussion. Year 1 students would work together on snack planning. It would foster teamwork and responsibility. And Year 2 students would be making independent menu choices that teachers are accountable of, and to they will be able to, control, do the leadership role in there. So language is, in my lesson was primary language was English, but I might or I may use local language switch coding, maybe for Hindi speaking students I might speak in Hindi. For Ethiopian students I would speak in Ethiopian language to help them understand more better, so that whatever I tell them, it's clear, so there's a clear communication between the teacher and the students, so they are able to understand, because these children are still developing. Children at preschool, kindergarten, even year 1 and 2, they are still developing, and some of them might not be able to understand English, right? So it's very important to do language code switching. Yeah? So as a parent, I want you to ask yourself, how can you support respectfully communication during snack or meal preparation at home? For example, how can you support, like For example, I would let the children choose fruits, or maybe they would be able to share snacks, or they would be able to discuss their preferences, like what they want to eat or what their choices are, but in a politely way, right? So encouraging your children to express choices politely would build social skills and respect. Yes. So at home we could actually teach our children to you know teach them about sharing, like you can share snacks, teach them to ask politely, how to ask politely, and we would give them the independent to choose their own fruit, right? And so moving on to slide 4, which is on the learning resources. So the resources that I selected for my lesson was to engage multiple senses and to support learning. So for the preschoolers, the real fruit for sensory exploration, I used real fruits, right? And this was for sensory exploration. I used songs for memory. I used clay models for creativity. And the strength was that it kept attention and supported the sensory development as well. For kindergartens, I use visual aids like charts, flashcards, big books, which connected fruits with healthy benefits. And the strength was that it reinforces understanding and recall. For year one students, I used worksheets, charts, models, which help organize our fruits. For snack planning, and the strength was that it supports cognitive and the fine motor skills as well. Year 2 students, I used posters, charts, and menus that allowed creative presentation of knowledge, building reasoning and presentation skills. Eh? So for parents, I want to ask you, which of these resources could you replicate at home to support your child's learning? Yeah, you could use charts, very good, or you could use coloring books, flashcards, real fruits to make fruit salad, right? Even simple home resources like paper for drawing or actual fruits for tasting can reinforce classroom learning. Okay, so slide 5, which is on activate prior knowledge. So what the students know about this, right? So before new learning, we need to know what children already know, and that is what prior knowledge is all about. So we need to understand that what they know about food already, and then they could learn new things, so they are able to connect it. For the preschoolers, they actually shared experiences like I eat bananas every morning, so it actually built their confidence and verbal skills as well. For kindergartens, they actually discussed why fruits were healthy. For example, mangoes gave me energy, and the strength was that it actually encouraged reasoning. And for year one students, they talked about snacks, right? And on how to prepare the snacks, or they were able to do market visits as well. And the strength was that they were able to link learning to real life routines as well. Eh? And for the ER2 students, they were able to analyze nutritional and daily intake. For example, comparing orange and mangoes for vitamin C content. And the strength was that it would develop critical thinking. So I want you to think. You don't give me the answer. Just think. Like, what foods do you see or do you think your child loves to eat, and what benefits do you see when they eat that fruit? Right. For example, my son, he eats bananas. It's like a quick snack. He eats apple, and apple gives him energy. Right. So we need to use these familiar fruits to help children connect to new learning to what they already know. Okay, so maybe they no they love oranges because oranges they have like vitamin C. Yeah. Moving on to our next slide, which is on 6. So slide 6 is on variety of connected activities. So activities that I did were hands on, and it was age appropriate based on each age group from preschool to year 2. And for the preschoolers, they were able to touch, they were able to smell, taste fruit, they were able to sing song, they were able to sort by color, taste, and draw fruits. So this actually strengthened their sensory awareness, vocabulary, and fine motor skills. And for kindergarten students, what they did, they explored, they tasted the food as well, the fruit, sorry, as well. They were able to sort the fruits, They were able to explain even one health benefit of their favorite fruit. They drew their favorite fruit as well. So the strength of this was that it helped them in reasoning, communication, and memory. Year one students, they sorted by multiple attribution. They actually planned a snack. They draw, label it, strengthen problem solving, collaboration, practical health, and application. They did all those things, right? And year two students, so as the levels goes by, the activities, it gets a bit intense as well. So year two students, they were able to categorize for energy, like which food gives them energy, immunity. They were able to discuss about digestion. They would be able to plan their daily menus using their fruits, create posters. This actually strengthened their critical thinking, planning, and leadership. So, what I want you to do as parents today at home, you need to plan. I want you to plan a fruit snack for your children, and your fruit snack should have three different fruits. You need to mix three different fruits and give it to your child and ask them what are the benefits of each of it, and let them recognize what are each of those fruits, right? For example, you could give them banana. They might say it makes you strong, it gives you energy. Mangoes, they could say it gives you like vitamins. And then guava, it gives them fiber. So let them just reason it out what each fruit give them. Try to prepare a fruit salad, because this will actually encourage reasoning, and they will be able to make healthy decisions at home. Okay. Slide 7 is on reflection. So reflection actually helps children to internalize learning. Okay. So preschoolers, they share verbally or draw what they learned. Example, I will wash my fruit before eating. So the strength is self-expression. Kindergarten students, they might draw a chart that would show which fruits they will eat, and they, because this will help them understand the health benefits of it. Year one students, they are able to plan a simple snack and discuss the choices with their friends, their peers. So it would actually lead to development of social skills, and they will be able to reason it out. Year two students, they would be able to create a detailed menu and explain benefits to peers, like the strengthen would be communication, critical thinking, and leadership. Siddhan. So, as parents, I want you to do a reflection at home, like, and ask yourself which fruits did you like today and why. And I want you to do the same to your children, that which fruit did they like and why did they like. And they might say, I like mango because it's sweet and makes me strong, right? So, this will actually reinforce their learning and language development. And now moving on to slide 8. This was on the assessment method. And it's on assessment, right? So assessment is both formative and summative, as we all know. So for the preschool children, because they are very small, they are still developing, they don't understand basic things, right? So the best thing that we could do is observations. So we could observe them sorting fruits, tasting it, drawing, doing like role play. Or yeah, because this actually strengthen their informal understanding of learning. They are still developing, they are still understanding, they don't know much. So this will actually help them, strengthen their informal way of learning. For kindergarten student, we could use like artwork, we could show and tell. They could, do group discussions, recite. Strength would be like multiple modes of expressions. Year one students could do snack planning, sorting, explaining benefits. Strength would be analytical and reasoning skills. And for the year two students, menu planning, posters, role play, explaining choices. And this would strengthen their knowledge application, presentation, and leadership quality as well. So, how do you see your children applying this learning at home? How do you see? How? Okay. Like you can help them wash the fruits, okay. Planning the snacks, and sharing fruits with siblings. Yeah. And every small activity reinforces healthy habits and responsibility. Okay. So as you could see, the the things that I have created for my lesson plan, it actually, for each age group, I actually created a big book like this. So this big book is for preschool, the healthy food, the healthy food menu. And for example, the big book that I created for preschool, Tommy finds a banana. So I have also drawn pictures as well, because small children, they actually learn by looking at the pictures. They still don't, some of them, like, they still don't know how to read because they are still learning, still developing. So it is very important that we include pictures so that they could learn, because children learn better while they when they see, or when they do hands on, rather than just reading and writing. And using of real fruits will also encourage them. They will also be able to identify the different kinds of fruits, the health benefits of it as well. So I believe that every small activity that we do would reinforce healthy habits and reinforcement in our children. So slide 9 is on the curriculum links. So this lesson plan that I created, it covered multiple curriculum areas. Firstly, it covered health and PE as well, because health, there in here, it will help children to understand healthy eating habits, like washing the fruits before you eat, what is the right kind of fruit, what each fruit give them, the health benefits of the fruit. So it covers the health area as well. Secondly, science and life skills as well. They will be able to recognize different fruits. They will be able to explain which one gives vitamins, which one gives fiber, which one gives energy, the benefits of each of the fruits. Literacy, as well, as children will be able to share their experiences verbally. They will be able to draw, they will be able to write about the fruits, they will be able to talk about the fruits, they will be able to discuss with their peers as well. And numeracy as well, where they will be able to count the fruit, they will be able to do sorting, categorizing it, comparing the quantities of it as well. And social and emotional as well, because they will be able to share, they will be able to collaborate and express their preferences as well. So the strength of this multiple using of this multiple curriculum area is that it cross curriculum approaches is that it would make the learning very meaningful, holistic, and applicable, right? And as parents, we can support these areas at home as well, by discussing the food, continuing foods, or drawing the fruits together. Okay, so now that's all for my presentation. And now we are going to do some interactive activity as well. But before that, do you have any questions? Okay, so now let's go to our discussions part. So for preschoolers, the objective was name at least 3 local fruits. Preschool children are ages of 4 years old. And so the first question I want to ask you, what is some of the things that you could do to try at home? Like, for example, I have a 3-year-old son, so I would teach him to wash his fruits before he eats. So what would you do?
Wash his hands.
Wash his hands, right? And then he can also learn about different benefits of each fruit, like banana gives energy, mango gives vitamin, guava gives fiber. And because all this will help the children learn about hygiene, responsibility, and decision making. Okay, and now I want to ask you, how can you at home make fruit learning, like teach your children about fruit in a fun and engaging way? How? Maybe like cutting the fruit into shapes, making a fruit salad, and yeah, things like that. They can draw, they can paint the fruits. And what else? You can do clay model as well, using plasticine, clays, and all that. How can you have like homemade resources at home to support your children's learning? Maybe you can use real fruits. You can use
The cutting from the magazine.
magazine, yes, and what else can we do?
Hand drawing.
Make, yeah, hand drawing. You can make chart,
Chart.
posters. So there's a lot of way in which we could use to encourage our children to learn about healthy living and nutrition, and enjoying local fruits, because we locally have a lot of fruits available. It's always better that we teach our children to enjoy local fruits like bananas, mangoes, what other, guava, popo, star fruit. Yeah. Okay. So do you have any question? Anything?
Editing.
No?
No, you said no. You said no.
Okay. And okay. So at home, you could do this. You could join in your children for a short hands-on food sorting activity. So on a table, you could actually display a display pictures of different fruits like apple, banana, mango, orange, watermelon, whatever fruit pictures you have, and together with your children you could sort the fruits by color, size, or taste, and they could tell you what's sweet, what's sour. So you could actually understand what your children know, and you could ask your children some of the guiding questions like which fruits help us grow strong, which fruit is juicy, which fruit keeps us healthy. So this will actually encourage your children to talk about their favorite fruit and why they like these fruits. And your children might say that bananas make them strong, mango is sweet, guava keeps them healthy. Yeah? So you could do this activity at home. Okay, let's. I have some these questions for you. You can answer. So, what challenges do you face in encouraging your children to eat fruit? What are some of the challenges you face at home to encourage your children? No, like what challenges you face? What are some of the problems you face when you are encouraging your children to eat fruits? At times they don't want to eat fruits, they become very fussy. So, they have certain favorite fruits, right? So, they might not want to eat some of the fruits. And so, how do you encourage your children to eat fruits?
Cutting shapes.
And maybe fruit salad. So it's very important that you talk to your children about fruits. What are the health benefits of these fruits? Why it's important to eat fruits? So this will actually encourage them to have a healthy eating habit as well. Okay? And so to conclude, it always remember that healthy habit starts at home through everyday conversation and modeling. Always.
You don't do that.
So healthy habits start at home through everyday conversations and modeling. Because if you eat the right kind of fruits, your children will model you, right? They will copy you. So modeling is very important. You need to start healthy habits at home. You need to involve your children in washing, choosing, and preparing of fruit as well, because you need to give them a little bit of independence. And well, you need to make the learning playful as well, because yeah, so you need to make learning very playful, engaging, and meaningful for your children. You need to use like use color games. You could do pretend play, storytelling around fruits as well. Because when parents take part in these small, consistent activities, children learn that healthy eating can be fun, social, and part of daily life as well. So I would like to thank you for joining me in, for participating, for being so cooperative, and let's together, help grow healthy and happy learners. Be happy learners and be like try to enjoy our life with healthy eating habits, you eating healthy foods. So that's all for today, and I would like to thank you for joining me in, and and being so cooperative. Thank you so much.